We're starting racket number one with a New York Times article on the hurricane. All right, so where am I going to go? Floridians hit by a hurricane and a housing crunch. Losses from the storm are just coming into focus. But what is clear is that recovery will be hardest on people already struggling to make ends meet. It's absolutely a great point here because, you know, along the waterfront, in Naples or Fort Myers or, you know, some of these other areas that were hit really hard in the Gulf Coast of Florida, you definitely have some extremely high-end homes. But they will find, you know, we have a mutual client today who called and said, hey, I have, you know, different properties. One of my properties that does happen to be in Naples, put it up for $20,000 a month. I'm going to rent it out. And that's going to rent like that.
Of course.
Right? Because you have a lot of displaced
Lots of
luxury homeowners that, you know, would be like, yep, it's great, it's safe, it's brand new, love it, $20,000 a month.
Yeah, I think it's like the third floor. He's good. He's out.
Yep, drop in the hat, and boom, they're gonna go while their place is getting fixed up. That being said, along the shore, you also have, you've got like trailer homes.
Of course.
I don't know what's the proper word for trailer homes.
They are trailer homes.
Trailer homes.
They're trailer.
Listen, mobile homes.
Yeah, there's a lot of them down there.
I think it's the worst investment you can ever make in real estate. I can't think of a worse investment. That being said, my heart breaks for the people that were living in one of these homes.
Because it was probably all they could afford.
Right. I would just still argue that you're better off renting or you're better off doing something else. That's a whole different discussion. I don't want to even go down that rabbit hole right now. I'll go down that rabbit hole a different time when it's not as
tender.
Yeah, tender. Anyways, my heart breaks for those people because you literally have nothing to go back. I mean, that just gets wiped out. And I live in Naples. And so I've seen so many different videos in our community right now. They're collecting stuff for people who lost everything. And to see the videos of like the little girl getting one toy when she just lost all of her toys, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know, I think about
your kids.
Well, yeah. And luckily my kids were like, you know, giving some of their stuff away because they have way too much stuff anyways.
Of course.
But I think about if we were in that situation where, you know, we went over to Miami for a few days to avoid the storm. And I flew up here from Miami to Connecticut to be with you, Nicole. I appreciate it. And the team. And then my wife and daughters and my mother-in-law, they went back to Naples. And we knew we had somebody checking the house. We knew the house was going to be fine. It was just a matter of get power back. Then they were going to go back. But had the house not been fine, and we had to like bring our daughters over to everything being destroyed, losing every single toy. You know, that's such a like a thing that.
Well, and then like your friends, and you're looking at your friends' houses, and then their school. Can you imagine like if there's school? I mean, everything that is like that they depend on and that is stable is now gone.
School's still not open.
Yeah.
So they're doing a couple hour thing.
But it's okay, right?
Yeah, the school's fine. They're doing a couple hour thing today just to get people back. So it's almost like daycare. Like people are just going there to hang out.
Something. Well, what else are you going to do? I mean, it's
been really hard on a lot of people. But what I know about that particular area of Florida is there already has been a huge inventory shortage.
For sure.
So while you're hearing about other parts of the country breaking in terms of, oh, inventory is coming back up. Yeah. Oh, they're slashing prices.
No way.
That has not been Southwest Florida. There's absolutely no inventory. So for the folks who have been living there, especially if it's just that like that little ranch, that mobile home that we're talking about, they've lived there their whole life. It's been passed down through generations. They've been able to afford this property in Naples, Florida, because it's been passed down to them and they've been living there for years, and now it's gone and they know nothing else other than Southwest Florida. Where are they going to go? There's no inventory to begin with before this happened.
Right.
And rents are going to go. Listen, rents are going to go up just because the market's the market.
Right.
You might say in the comments, hey, they're taking advantage of people by pushing these rents up. The market's the market. All right. Supply and demand, despite the fact that this is a natural disaster and it's heartbreaking, rents are going to go up because there's going to be limited supply of them.
Right.
And so what happens even if you put the price, say at $10,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $3,000 a month, whatever the market rate is for rent. Well, if you have 50 people that need a rent, somebody's going to offer you $3,500 if it's $3,000.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to say, I'll do it for $45.
Even if you put it on for $1,500, you're probably going to get someone that's offering $5. Yeah. Yeah.
So the market kind of takes over there. And if you got a more qualified buyer who's offering you, or renter or whatever, offering you more money, you're going to rent the property out.
Yeah.
So I think New York Times, you know, I hadn't seen this angle a lot, but they're hitting it right on the head, and they're talking about these different stories.
Well, and not just houses, we're talking about cars.
Yep.
I mean, the amount of cars we saw floating all. I mean, expensive cars.
So, you know, my wife got hit.
Yes.
So she got hit. My daughter was in the car. This was a couple of days before the hurricane. Car has huge damage. She had it scheduled this week to go in. All of the shops for cars, they're not even open.
Yeah.
They're shut down. And then so she's like talking to some people like, hey, you know, when you do open, you know, am I going to be able to come in and get my car fixed? Well, they're like, everybody needs their car fixed. Everybody has car issues now. So it could be like months before.
Well, I mean, and even when I know we're real estate agents, but so my husband and I, our lease is coming up and we are looking into getting another car. And again, even that they've halted production on some lines too. So it's gonna be awful for a little bit.
So there's a ton of stories in this New York Times article, which we'll link up in the show notes as we always do. I don't have enough money to replace my car and my house. I got enough money to replace one or the other, says Davenport, 50 years of age. The storm surge swallowed his car and engulfed the 28-foot trailer he lived in near Fort Myers.
And what's
Fort
so
Myers
sad,
just devastated.
And he probably, and I'm just making up a story here, probably like retired, like fixed income. He probably left the Northeast to hit up down where it was going to be beautiful and sunny. Again, fixed income, not even work. I'm making a lot of assumptions here, but that's what's on our news up here is people from Northeast that have retired, you know, down there.
I know some of these mobile homes have been there for years. They shouldn't be within 5 miles, maybe even 10 of the water. It seems ridiculous to me, but that's a whole other story. After the storm, many Floridians limited by low or fixed incomes face finding a decent place to live in a state that is mirrored in an affordable housing crash. The state's enduring popularity, inflation, and soaring rental costs have made it one of the least affordable places to live in the nation. So that was already before all this. Already an estimated 2.24 million households in Florida with incomes below $50,000 pay more than 30% of their income in rent or mortgage. More than a quarter of the total households, according to the University of Florida's Schimberg Center for Housing Studies. In counties that were under evacuation orders, Nicole, less than 20% of homes have coverage through the National Flood Insurance Program.
They don't even have flood insurance.
Less than 20%.
Well, because I mean, if they paid them off and they didn't need to have them, you don't.
My uncle, my father was telling me, has his house paid off.
Yep.
He's living off the state of Connecticut, some pension from up here, from back in the day. Paid his house off, got sick of the flood insurance cost.
He didn't pay.
Canceled it 3 months ago.
Oh.
House flooded. Yeah, house flooded. I mean, listen, Uncle Billy, you're an idiot. I mean, quite frankly, that's a stupid move. I don't actually.
Well, there are lots of people.
He had the money to do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily.
Yeah, don't get rid of your flood. Don't get rid of your life insurance policies.
He could afford it, which is why I'm saying, hey, Unc, bad move. But people that are trying to make ends meet when inflation is hitting, and this is what this article is talking about, the people that don't have a pot to piss in.
Right.
That have to make that decision. Okay, all I have is this house.
Right. Or all I can afford is food.
I've inherited this house, and I literally need to make the decision because of inflation to pay my bills, to pay for food, or to pay for my flood insurance policy. You drop the flood insurance. Now, you could have argued that in the last 2 years, you could have capitalized, sold that house, gotten into a different situation.
Potentially.
But they may have been there 50 years, and we know that homes are emotional to people.
Yeah.
Now, for us real estate professionals, well, I know you're an emotional one with homes. I'm not, right? Like, I just know.
Yeah.
It's just how I am, right? But it's not how everybody is.
Yeah.
And so it's just, I mean, I can go on and on about it.
Well, and in Florida, I heard this too. You're not required to have your vehicle insured either. Is that correct?
I don't know. I don't know that to be true, but I know vehicle insurance in Florida is astronomical.
But I believe I heard that because you have the uninsured motorist portion of that insurance policy is so expensive because there are so many uninsured drivers. But regardless,
a lot of bad drivers.
But again, another thing where if you lost your car and you didn't have insurance on that either. Anyway, the whole thing is devastating.
Everybody saw the photos. If you saw any of the photos or videos of Sanibel Island, and Sanibel Island, if you've ever been there, beautiful.
You even get there? I don't even think you can get there.
You can't get there. It's a barrier island where about 6,400 people live year round. It's described as uninhabitable.
Yeah.
You can and when you see the overheads, you're like, it doesn't exist. And so, listen, the death count is rising. It's in the hundreds.
Well, they're still looking.
Yeah. And we already know that it's devastating. If you've spent time in Southwest Florida and some of the spots that you love to frequent, you see them, it's just heartbreaking. It's going to be a long time before the waterfront in a lot of these areas is built back. You think about Fort Myers Beach, may never, ever be the same. Just devastating. To see it. So again, we've got that link below if you want to donate. If we get 100 likes or more on this video, I'm gonna throw in $1,000 to help realtors.
I'll make sure you throw in that $1,000 no matter what. But
and some realtors, are in this situation. If you're one of the lucky agent real estate professionals that I've talked to a bunch where they're fine, like me. My house in Naples was fine. Do everything you can. If you've got a little bit extra money, donate it. If you've got the time. I see agents in Naples doing so much stuff, going and showing, the devastation, donating to families. So my hat's off to you guys. You guys are doing a great job.
Are helping to clean up.
Clean up. There's a million things, to do. There's also a link below, Nicole, for PropStream. So
drop it like it's hot. Oh, prop it like it's hot.
So if you want to help your business and get more listings, get the data that you need to get the listings to help your business in 2023, to get investments for yourself so you have a little bit more money to invest or to donate when things like this happen. You know what would actually, what I thought about when this happened? And I'm like, okay, how much money can I donate? What can I do to help? These types of things. I'm like, this is why you want to build something up so unique, so special, make so much money so that when things like this happen, you can be there to help in a big way.
For sure.
And so helping your business, PropStream can do that. It's the most trusted provider of real estate information. We've looked at a whole bunch of different options. This is the best option to go get the data. Whether it's you're looking for people that have 100% equity, 50% equity, been in the house 20 plus years, whatever lists you're trying to create, you can do that with PropStream. Create these smart lists. You can download the client data for 10 cents a contact and then go generate leads for listings and for investments for yourself. So hit the link, PropStream, give it a try. You get a 7-day free trial with our link down below.